Welcome back. So slightly different video this week, probably not a lot of wood turning if any. What we are going to be doing is unpacking and assembling this, which is the xTool D1 laser cutter and engraver. After we've assembled it, I'll be doing a bit of a test on it just to familiarise myself really more than anything with what its capabilities are, and then the third part of the video we'll be making a clock with this. So what I'll do is I'll put the timestamps on the video round about now, so if you don't want to see it unboxing, assembling or testing and just want to go straight to the clock being made, you can do that. So let's get this unpacked. Okay, so that's the material pack. Obviously for testing a laser or using it straight out of the box. Instructions. Nice packaging. Okay, so we've got some fittings, tie wraps and safety goggles. This is a rotary attachment, which means hopefully should be able to engrave mugs and things like that after. Put it to one side for a minute. The actual laser module itself. Okay, I'll just get these unpacked, laid out onto this makeshift desk that we've got here, and then we'll look at putting it together. Okay, so we've got the main parts laid out in front of us. We've got instruction book and then quick start guide. Not sure what the difference is between these two. So that quick start guide is more pictures, so that's my level, so we'll be using that one. Just put those to one side, and then we've got, looks like, examples of things obviously you can make with the laser engraver. And yeah, unleash your creativity. That's me, buddies, unleashing something. So there's a check of everything you should have in the box, always worth doing before you start assembling anything. So we'll start off on page 1. So first thing we need to do is that piece, and then cut that tie wrap off. Second thing we need to do, obviously just slide the 4 sections together. Right, so they're slotted together, so now we need 16 of those. Right, so that's 4 bolts on each corner. Just going to do yours now. Before you start putting the bolts in, you really have got to make sure that all these holes are lined up, otherwise you could quite easily end up cross-threading these. Once you've got it in place, they all go in quite easy. Right, that's all those done. Move on to the next. Okay, so the next bit we need to do is we need to put in a shaft. That goes in there apparently, on there with a coupler. I don't know if you can see down here there's a belt inside here which looks like it needs to come through and go around that before that goes in. Right, that's that. Put the coupler on first. And there. Then once you've got the right amount of tension on the belt using this, you've got a little locking one there. So when you are tensioning these belts, you don't want them too tight. It's not like you're tuning the guitar. You just obviously want to ensure that they grip, obviously with the motor, and then wind the carriages back and forwards as they should without slipping, and that's it. Right, so that's that done. So the next bit we need to do is put the cable in. I always find it best in doing stuff like this if you're trying to align the instructions with whatever it is you're building. To there, these plugs only go in one way. So the tie wraps we'll just put through loosely for a minute until we've got the cable where we want it to be. The one used here again for tensioning, but this has already been installed in the factory and then locked off, but we'll put it in anyway. Again, these plugs only go in one way, so don't try and force them the wrong way. Just get this tie wrapped underneath here. Right, so there's 4 cable ties go across there just to hold that cable out of the way as the carriage moves back and forth. According to a quick start guide, we're now 80% done, and then it says here I should be excited. That's probably a bit of a stretch at 7:30 at night. As I said, probably hungry is probably more accurate, so we'll move on to the laser module now. So I'll just show you there that the thumb screws are tight, that springs out to allow you to continually to undo it or tighten it back up. Right, so they do give you a piece of aluminium or aluminum, whichever side of a pond you're from, to go underneath, obviously underneath whatever you're cutting, so it doesn't burn underneath, but that's only going to be for small pieces. So what I'll do is I'll go out and get a piece 600 by 600, which will go underneath the whole lot, which means then when I'm cutting for the entire area I haven't got to worry about trying to move that around. Okay, so that's the laser engraver all assembled. Next thing we're going to do is assemble the air assist, or unpack, I don't know how much assembly's in it, which connects into a little connector there, and obviously all it does is blow down air to keep whatever it is you're cutting cool. Okay, so we've got a couple of adapters just go onto the outlet of a pump, and then literally just connect the pipe up. Right, so we've got a couple of spare bits left over, nozzle, air connector, and then a little adapter which would normally go onto a top, I'm presuming, of an older laser, and then a spare shroud. I'm guessing you can buy this at a later date if you've already got one of these lasers and upgrade it, so that's why you need them, but this has already got them fitted, so they'll just be spares. Right, so it's a week later from where it was, so we've got a piece of aluminium check plate now underneath the cutting area, so hopefully we won't go through. Now we've got a selection of materials to try out. So we've got plywood, we've got a couple of sheets of that, we've got some cork to try it, I'm presuming that's some kind of rubber, and then we've got a couple of pieces of glass to try and etch on, and then these which look like some kind of aluminium business cards, so we'll try engraving on those. Okay, so the only software I'm going to be using in the test is the xTool, what we call xTool Creative Space, which is downloadable from their website. I think it's only fair to use the software which comes or is available free. So we've got a few different things to try here. So we'll try this one first on the plywood, just to see how these come out just in engraving, not in cutting. Okay, so we've got a function called framing. Actually, you press a button and then it will just show you where the area is that you're going to be cutting. So we'll do that. That's a good way to check your materials in the right place. Right, so yeah, very accurate at engraving, very good. So we'll try cutting next. There we go, perfect. Okay, so to get a nice clean cut on 3mm ply, I've got the power at 100, and obviously the speed there, I've got it on 11 now. I did try one with 10, and it just seemed a bit much really, so I'll write them down. Right, this is 9mm ply, so we'll see how we get on with this. That's it. Okay, so that's 9mm plywood, so it has cut it. I'm sure if you played around with the settings and how many passes and altering the power and stuff, you can get it to cut a little bit cleaner than that. But yeah, so I mean it will cut up to 9mm. I wouldn't really want to go much thicker than that, to be honest. Not bad actually. Right, so this is the cork. We'll see how this one comes out. Okay, so I messed up there. What I've done is I've got my 0 in the wrong place, but never mind. But anyway, these ones I cut out with without the air assist on, and you can see they haven't done a particularly good job of doing that. Whereas these, I've got the air assist on, and they've cut out perfectly. So yeah, good. Right, so on to the clock next. So it's going to be made out of mainly 6mm ply. So just have a quick test on this just to get the settings right for doing cutting this out, and then we'll do the main cut out of all the parts. Okay, so we've got the first lot of parts all put in, ready to cut out, so we'll see how this gets on. Okay, so that's the first lot done. Give you an idea of how long that took. I think it was about 45 minutes to cut all of that out. So we will see how well we've done. The fact that it's all dropping out is a good sign. Okay, a couple of these didn't go all the way through. You can see there where it just seems to have missed that bit. I don't know quite why. Obviously it's a setting that I haven't quite got right or something, but yeah, nothing we can't sort out with a file. So I'm going to cut the rest out and then bring them over. Okay, so that's the last two pieces cut out, so I'll start putting this together now. So I'm just going to cut out the hands for the movement now, but I just thought I'd mention I've been out and bought one of these honeycomb bases for doing the cutting out, and then what it does is it stops this burning you get underneath, and yeah, it works really well. Okay, so all I've done for test purposes, I've just screwed it to a workshop door. I'd like to say it's put together with some kind of finesse, but it hasn't. It's just basically been thrown together. And I put the pendulum on. All I need to do now is go and try and find some string or something, and then a weight. I'm not going to bother making a weight for this one. Just a bottle of something with some water or liquid in will do. Right, I couldn't find any string, but what I have got is a shoelace and a bottle of wood dye. So I'll get this wound up and then see if it works. Oh, look at that!